easy to go out when it's nice weather in Vancouver. It's a beautiful night. I hope you've enjoyed your dinner, and you had your dessert and coffee. And as we get started, I'd like to invite our board vice chair, Graham Dick, to share a few words about his why with Signal Hill. Come on up, Graham. Let's give him an applause. Yeah, come on up. Spiritual well-being of Vancouver. If you've ever been to the Vancouver Prayer Breakfast.
You guys, it's Elvis! Look who I finally did! We're here, we'll see you soon. Love ya, your favorite aunt. Bye.
Photos or more, valued at $200. The winner is Cassandra. Woo! Okay, this was my favorite of all. My favorite. This one's tough. Okay.
We're getting a family photo shoot. Yay!
Janice, I'm actually the executive director of Signal Hill.
Woo!
For the past 2.5 years, I've had the privilege of serving with Signal Hill, and since 1974, Signal Hill has been committed to helping the next generation of children and youth value their lives, build healthy relationships, make life-affirming choices, and value every person. This is something our society needs now more than ever. We're living in a cultural moment of crisis. And as Psalm 11:3 says, if the foundations be destroyed, what are the righteous to do? At Signal Hill, we believe we're being called to rebuild these foundations, especially in education, student by student, life by life. What started as a mission to serve young people in the Lower Mainland has grown into a movement impacting children from kindergarten through 12th grade. The headlines are hard to ignore. Our kids are in crisis. They're battling anxiety, depression, gender confusion, addiction, the crushing pressure of TikTok and social media telling them that they're never enough unless they change who they were created to be. And we all wonder, what can we do? At Signal Hill, we've stepped into that space. We offer free, values-based, life-affirming resources to teachers, youth workers, and even those serving youth in juvenile detention centers. This is what the dream looks like. Chad works with youth who are incarcerated, most of them facing serious mental health and substance abuse challenges. While searching for resources that could help him reach these teens, and not just manage them, but really reach them, he found Signal Hill. He now uses our free resources to facilitate weekly life classes for these incarcerated youth. I want you to hear his words because they stirred something deep within us. Chad said, Signal Hill's free educational resources are invaluable to our mission. The clear step-by-step lesson plans cover essential topics like resilience, mental health, and leadership. With minimal prep time, the relevant subjects and engaging handouts spark meaningful discussions and promote active participation. But then he said this, I aim to empower them to become their best selves and create safe opportunities to grow and thrive. That's what the dream looks like. A man on the front lines with very little budget, reaching teens who've been told they don't matter, and using our resources to say, you are not your mistakes. You're not disposable. Your life has value. And the best part, we didn't pitch this to him. He found us. And that's the kind of movement that's building. One trusted adult, one classroom, one community at a time.
Wow.
Signal Hill's borderless online reach is putting life-affirming truth into the hands of trusted adults. in every Canadian province now, and in every US state. We couldn't have planned that, but the dream is already unfolding. But don't just take my word for it. We want you to see the lives being changed, the stories unfolding, the hope that's rising. This is the heartbeat of Signal Hill, and what you're about to see is why you're here tonight. Matter. That's the dream. Working with impoverished mothers and children in a community of brokenness. She downloaded our resources and then left a comment on our website. We reached out and asked, how are you using the materials? And her response moved us deeply. She said, I work with women who've never been told their lives have value, and their children are growing up with the same patterns. I want to change that. She has been translating the materials herself into Afrikaans, and because she believed that they could be a tool to rewrite the story of a generation. When we later checked our stats, we discovered that South Africa was one of the top countries outside North America downloading our content. That's the dream. It's not just ours anymore, it's theirs too. This dream isn't limited to kids in detention, or the youth here in the Lower Mainland, or a teacher in the Solomon Islands, or a woman in South Africa. This is a global movement that's unfolding faster than we ever imagined. 2 years ago, I never dreamed that we'd be in 124 countries. It said 123, we're now in 124 around the world. And did you know there's only 195 countries in the world? So that's over 63% of the countries already have teachers using our resources. From Langley, BC to the world. Jacqueline, can you stand up? In the past 2 years, with the incredible help of Jacqueline Bay, we developed the Indigenous K-8 curriculum used across Canada and beyond. Jacqueline, who comes from Cree heritage, brought both our Signal Hill values and an Indigenous lens to this work. Jacqueline, thank you for what you're doing. She's now leading the development for our high school program as well. Thank you, Jacqueline. We've also translated our elementary curriculum into French and are nearing completion in Spanish. Sachi, our amazing Spanish translator, stand up, Sachi. Thank you. She is almost done our Spanish K-8 resources. I mean, just think of the multiplication of how many countries speak Spanish globally. It's incredible. But we're just getting started. We want our resources to reflect the cultures right here in our communities. That's why we're preparing to translate our resources into our lessons into Mandarin and Punjabi, the two most spoken languages in BC after English. There are 4,000 plus students attending Punjabi language schools in the Lower Mainland alone. Like, that's not even in public schools, that's just Punjabi schools. Imagine the impact if these families had access to resources that helped affirm the value of life and identity right in their heart language. We also see exciting partnerships, like with City Reach Care Centre in Greater Vancouver. We have Aeneas, where are you? Yes, Aeneas is from the City Reach Care Centre, and they provide food and support to local families and are now incorporated Signal Hill resources into the kits that they give out. This is what it looks like when community comes together to bring truth and hope. In the next 5 years, as we expand our curriculum and translations, this small organization from Langley, BC, could be a catalyst for rebuilding culture, one grounded in truth, hope, and the unshakable value of every person. Let's dream together. Let's act boldly. Let's help this generation thrive. Tonight, you've heard stories of hope, from classrooms across Canada, to detention centers, to the Solomon Islands, and the township of South Africa. You've seen how a simple truth, that the life of every child is valuable. The ripple effect, it's going to have unexpected ways. And if something stirred in your heart tonight, if you believe like we do, that the next generation needs truth, hope, and courage to know their value, then this is your moment. I want to invite someone who knows what it means not just to dream big, but to believe the bold dreams deserve bold action. Doris has a gift, and she's not just what is, but what could be. And she's here tonight to invite all of us to be part of a bigger what if. Please join me in welcoming my friend, Doris.
To a few words that go through my mind just sitting in the back listening. Little is much when God is in it. Take a deep breath with me. You just heard some amazing things. And that wasn't just a presentation. That was a glimpse into a global movement, and as Janice said, rooted right here in Langley. It's very significant that we're in a historical location as well, here in Murrayville. That movement is fueled by 2 full-time staff, 5 contracted team members, and 8 dedicated volunteers, and countless others around the world who are using Signal Hill's resources to speak life and value into their communities. And all of this, get this, on an annual budget of just $300,000. $300,000, that's amazing. But this is what happens when obedience meets vision, when faith meets action, and when generous people like you say, I want to be part of that. Signal Hill isn't just doing good work. They're doing essential work in classrooms, in prisons, in homes, but most of all in hearts. And they're giving it all away for free. That's kind of crazy too, right? But thank you for following in obedience and doing that, because they believe that every child, every youth worker, every teacher, every life is worth it. But you know what? Free isn't free. It costs time, it costs talent, and yes, it costs treasure. And this is where we come in. And as Janice said, if something stirred in you tonight, if you've ever wondered, what can I do in a world that feels upside down, full of chaos? But I think we all agree, that's kind of how the world feels most days right now. This is our moment. So let me show you how far your yes tonight can go. So for $92 a month, and there's a little brochure on your table that explains all this, that would equip 260 students, 260 young people with life-affirming curriculum for an entire year. That's 260 hearts reminded of their value, 260 lives reminded that their story isn't over. Or maybe you came here tonight prepared to make a one-time gift. That's wonderful, because every single gift counts. And for some of you, you might have felt a bit of a nudge to maybe stretch just a little bit more, maybe even add a 0 to that number that you came here tonight to give. And if your heart is stirred for language and our local community, and as Janice said, the Mandarin and Punjabi dialect right here in our midst is where they're going to concentrate over the next little while, the 2 most spoken languages in BC after English. A gift of $20,000 will make that possible. So imagine reaching thousands of kids and families in their own heart language with a message that says, you matter, you are seen, and you are loved. Maybe you are the one that can give that gift. Or maybe you know someone, a friend, a colleague, a business owner, a church, a foundation, a Rotary group, a community group who could. You might not be the donor tonight, but you might be the bridge. I'm not asking you to give to a project. I'm inviting you to join a movement, one that declares loudly and clearly, every single child is worthy. every single life has value. And this generation is worth fighting for. And here's what Scripture promises us. You will be enriched in every way so that you can be generous on every occasion. And through us, your generosity will result in thanksgiving to God. So let your gift tonight reflect the size of your faith, not the limits of your budget. Because sometimes, Scripture reminds us of this, generosity outgives the need. This isn't just a donation, this is an investment in dignity, a gift of truth in a culture that is clouded by confusion. It's a beacon of hope to kids who feel like they've lost their way. So let's be that kind of people who don't just clap at the vision and say yay, but who fuel it, who fund it, who carry it. Let's value every person, not just in word, but in action. And let's make this a night that Signal Hill won't soon forget, not because of what was said, but because of what we did together. Will you join me tonight in making a gift? There's response cards and brochures on your table. You can scan the QR code and give online, or if you prefer, there's pens and giving cards right there for you to fill out. And on behalf of children and youth who are frightened, who are scared, who are lost, who are wondering, is there a future? Should I even stay long enough to find out if there is one? Am I worthy? For a generation that is struggling with identity and hope, on behalf of all those children whose lives can be changed because of your generosity, I want to say thank you, and I want to challenge all of us. I'm not here as a board member or a staff member or a contractor. I'm here as a donor. I'm a donor to Signal Hill. I've been walking with Janice for a while now, but I've been watching Signal Hill for probably the last 20 years. And this is not a human movement. God is in this, He is doing something, and He is inviting all of us to be part of that. So let's build the future together, one gift, one child, one story at a time. Thank you.
Thank you, Doris. Thank you to each one of you for being here. Feel free to take this home with you, but fill it in. You can leave your envelopes on your table, and my colleague Shannon will be walking around. Here's Shannon. She will walk around and pick them up. But right now I would encourage you, feel free to fill this in, but also go bid up auction items, please. We'd love to see them all go as high as possible. And we are grateful for our donors who gave those to us tonight too. So thank you for being here with us. This ends the formal part of our evening. What time is it right now? What time are we closing the silent auctions? 8:15? Yeah, 8:15, so you've got 30 minutes. We're gonna bring up our entertainer for tonight. Steve Elliott is, what's that? Yeah, so we're going to bring him up in just a few minutes. So if you want to finish your, go get more coffee and fill in those forms. We want to see lots of donations tonight. We're grateful for those. And yes, Greg.